I do seem to have a mental illness. Well, a couple of them actually. And I should point out, I'm not diagnosed schizophrenic. It's just that I haven't told my doctor everything. So I'm basically schizophrenic, but I only exhibit symptoms of that. It seems like when I go on medication. I'm not diagnosed that way, but I clearly have schizotypal personality traits, which and especially it's discrediting for a lot of people, or it could be for what I talk about. And that's one of the reasons that I try to, first of all, be open about who I am and where I'm coming from, because I think it's an important part of how seriously people should take the information. And I don't like to do this, and I wouldn't accept that I've been provoked. And so I got a couple people out there, 2 videos about me, and this is just awesome. It means that I'm finally breaking through. 2 videos claiming that I'm a CIA agent, he clearly doesn't have the same research team that I do. I do seem to have a mental illness. Well, a couple of them actually.
Stolpman. My name is Tracy, and I'm calling as a concerned citizen regarding his son Nathan. And he literally ruined the man's life this past week. He's also calling people pedophiles, people who've been on YouTube for years who are not pedophiles. He's calling them pedophiles so that they support pedophiles. And he's doing videos about how...
Oops.
Everybody on YouTube are government agents. He's calling everybody an actor, even though he has been acting himself. And he's claiming to be mentally ill, which I'm believing he is to a point. He claims that he can basically say whatever he wants because he lives in his dad's garage, your garage, and that people can't really get back at him or do anything about it because, he's mentally ill, and he says in his own words that he has a really sweet setup for people having trouble going after him without looking like jerks because he claims to be mentally ill. And he may be mentally ill, but that doesn't give him the license to go around claiming that people are pedophiles or fake or somebody that they're not, or ruining a man's life. I'm sorry to call you, but as he is claiming to be doing this out of your garage, I think it's probably good for you to know, because I think that one person in particular is looking to sue him right now.
You know how he's going to take care of it? I'm moving out. So, anyway, I won't ask you for money now, but I got some... They started calling my dad. Perfect. Just thought I'd let you guys know. I'm not going to stop. My dad says I don't have to stop. Okay? See you during my live show.
This individual believes in the flat earth and the Mandela effect. He's a moron. And we will find out he's a moron as we go.
So you know my background. Just so you know my background. I got into Stanford. I got a perfect score on my SATs. I'm not like an
idiot. He's extremely still. Apparently he got a perfect score on his SATs. Yeah, I don't believe that at all. Well, let's go back and look.
You know my background. I got into Stanford. I got a perfect score on my SATs.
So we got the believe me look, stress, stillness.
I'm not like an idiot. And I look at flat earth and I look at it.
Yeah, he did not get no perfect score. I don't even think he got into Stanford. Oh, I'd really like to see that. Did Daddy pay for you to get in if you did? This guy is an idiot.
And I figure things out, and there's something really major to it. And if you don't see that, then people are going to stop listening to you because they'll think you're a shill. because you don't cover the flat
Oh, look, now his body sings with him.
Earth.
I
The
don't
same
care. I
reason
don't want
people
them to
say that
listen
about
to
your.
See the difference? We went from all stillness when he talks about this fantasy land that he's creating because the people believe to you need to stop saying that because people are going to stop subscribing to you and his body starts singing with him.
Joe Rogan.
You can tell everybody that's in the chat right now, if you believe in the flat Earth, please unsubscribe from my channel.
Why
right
would
away.
you do that, Jeff? Because why don't we work
Because
together?
I don't want dumb people as my audience.
I don't know who Jeff is. I wish I had video of him because I already like him. I don't want dumb people as my audience either. Simple math, people. Simple math.
I'm not going to stop. My dad says I don't have to stop.
This is part 1 of a 2-hour expose on Nathan Stolpman from the YouTube channel Lift the Veil. Stolpman has had many fights with significant figures in the truth community, causing infighting, causing discord, causing division among every group that he has successfully infiltrated. There is a reason that so many prominent members of the truth community have come out in forceful condemnation of Stolpman's efforts to destroy the reputations of the most influential members of the truth community. Among the evidence you will see presented in this series are dozens of emails that reveal Stolpman's true character, a character that is very different from the persona he uses in public. I encourage you to download these video segments and re-upload them to your own channels, as there will undoubtedly be efforts to cover up the damning evidence that will be presented. Thank you for watching. Nathan Stolpman has built up a reputation on YouTube as someone who engages in constant harassment of other people. If you type in Nathan Stolpman in the YouTube search box, what you will find are dozens of videos from many different people who have been victimized by him one way or another. Some people seem to enjoy the drama that Nathan Stolpman creates through his serial harassment of other YouTubers in the truth community. And so it should come as no surprise that intermingled with the sincere viewers in Nathan's audience, there are a large number of people who like Nathan for his trolling. That particular part of his audience encourages Nathan to continue defaming other YouTubers because they feed off of the negative energy that Nathan's conflicts produce. I am just the latest in a long string of people to be targeted by Nathan Stolpman. He has been consciously lying to his audience to smear me for several days now. Nathan Stolpman says that I attacked Pizzagate. He is lying. I confirmed what everyone knows is my long-held position, that child sex trafficking is real, and that there are very foul things that were of legitimate concern to people studying the Pizzagate story. I have produced many hours of material on Pizzagate, and it is among the most popular material on YouTube on the subject. In this 15-part series called Out of Darkness, I exposed a significant amount of satanic ritual abuse and other issues related to Pizzagate. Here is just a few minutes of the introduction. Pizzagate. It's a term that means many things to many different people. To some, it refers to a story about the WikiLeaks release of thousands of hacked emails belonging to President Bill Clinton's White House Chief of Staff, John Podesta, the Washington, D.C. insider who later served as the chairman of Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. The leaked emails contained bizarre code language such as handkerchiefs with pizza-related maps on them. There were references to occult rituals called spirit cooking, involving the mixing of blood, feces, and semen together by a Thelema sex magic priestess tied not only to Podesta, but to many other political insiders. There were also references that led to a small pizzeria named Comet Ping Pong, located in Washington, D.C., owned and operated by James Alefantis, a flamboyantly gay socialite with close ties to the Clinton campaign. Alefantis and his staff at Comet Ping Pong were found to have made many postings in social media that made references to pedophilia and exceptionally deviant sexual practices. Between the live bands that performed at the pizzeria to the disturbingly macabre art collections of the Podestas. The common themes of death, blood, and grotesque sexual depravities, often involving children, are interwoven throughout. Nathan Stolpman knows that this is my position, and yet he lied. He insinuated that I said in my last live stream that there is no truth to Pizzagate. What he does not tell his own audience is that what I was saying in my live stream was that while there was much truth to what people were investigating about Pizzagate, the theory that Comet Ping Pong was operating a child sex dungeon was proven to be completely false. I repeatedly reaffirmed my position in that live stream that everything I said in my original series continues to be my belief, but a position that I never took in that series, that Comet Ping Pong was operating a child sex dungeon, was not true then, and it is not true now. My point in bringing that issue up was that the Pizzagate research effort collapsed rapidly, and that was because a fringe element within the Pizzagate community infiltrated it. They co-opted the investigation and they turned it into a circus that was demonstrably false and easy for the media to pick apart. So I complained that the fringe people can do damage to the honest pursuit of truth, which is absolutely true. I pointed out that the fake theory of James Alefantis keeping a child sex slave system running from inside the pizzeria was so awful that it prompted a man named Madison Welch to take a gun into the restaurant, terrorize the people inside, and go searching for children. In my live stream, I played never-before-heard audio from my interviews with the Comet Ping Pong shooter's family, as they talked about how Madison Welch became radicalized by his obsession with the untrue story that the restaurant had a basement dungeon full of child sex slaves. Now, whether it was because of petty jealousy or sheer vindictiveness, Nathan Stolpman deceived his own audience about what I had said in my video. I have very serious concerns, and so should you, as to the motivation for Nathan Stolpman trying to turn the truth community away from legitimate research about Pizzagate and real-life child sex trafficking rings by attacking me falsely over my research. He is doing the very same thing that I warned about in my live stream, that rather than pursue true lines of legitimate and worthy investigation, Nathan Stolpman is continuing to encourage people to reject that and pursue the parts of the Pizzagate theory that have already been completely discredited. Later in this video, you will see this pattern repeated over and over again, as Nathan Stolpman devotes his energy to manipulating his viewing audience away from credible research into verifiable facts and toward the most extreme of the fringe beliefs at the edge of the various theories. Nathan Stolpman is consciously choosing to work to discredit efforts to dig into the real truth about Pizzagate and other issues, including Sandy Hook, to steer people away from valid lines of investigation. What Nathan does is he attacks the messengers. You will see evidence in this video that while Nathan talks a good talk about Pizzagate, he personally has advocated on behalf of a real-life Satanist who admits to having sexually molested and beat young children. Nathan Stolpman likes to say that he's always honest, that he's just trying to get to the truth. But the fact is that Nathan Stolpman attacks credible researchers, and he tries to turn his audience against them. Here's just a few moments from the hours and hours of streaming that Nathan has done this week alone to attack me. You'll hear him chuckling and having a good time with his Twitch followers about their attacks against me, trying to cause my channel to lose as many subscribers as possible to try and get me shut down. You'll also hear Nathan talk about how he's going to attack me over my religious faith because I attend services with my family at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And you'll hear him talk gleefully about how Richie from Boston is now also attacking me.
Okay, so I was going to go through the story. Did you guys see the stream last night? No? I know. What can I do? What can I say? Where does it... well, here, I'm checking in with everybody, right? Yesterday, Jake, went off on Pizzagate. He went off about Pizzagate. Yep. He decided to go ahead and go after another very popular conspiracy theory. People lost it. It was 3 hours long. But,
So here are just a few of the factual, these are facts, these are factual pieces of information that were gathered together that the community was focusing on. And this is just, we could go on page after page after page of evidence, but let's just take a couple of them here. Here are a couple of the things that we were looking at. Comet Ping Pong's owner, a man named James Alefantis, he had some social media posts on Instagram and elsewhere that had some really, really messed up, sexually deviant postings. Very black humored. Some of them looked, there's no good way to put it. I mean, they were disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Now, James Alefantis, here's another point. He posted some pictures on his Instagram, kind of intermingled with all of this nasty stuff, homosexual photos of, just very deviant stuff. He was also interspersing that with pictures of children eating pizza in his restaurant, right? But they combined all of these things into a grand theory that Hillary Clinton and her campaign manager, John Podesta, were secretly working with James Alefantis to run a child trafficking operation out of Comet Ping Pong, where James Alefantis had a basement dungeon and underground tunnels, where he kept child sex slaves, and through Comet Ping Pong, Hillary and Alefantis and Podesta worked together to provide children to others for sex, or in some cases for the purpose of cannibalism. Now, for most of us, while there are some things that seemed fishy about Comet Ping Pong, and some things were outright disgusting, the moral debauchery of James Alefantis was very apparent. These pieces of speculation did not constitute, to many of us, proof that Hillary was a cannibal and that James Alefantis had a child sex dungeon in the basement of his restaurant.
But I didn't even finish it. I had to watch it for my job, so we were watching it for my job. He's losing subscribers like crazy. Well, Cubanilli got banned for saying Anderson Cooper better watch out. Jake is gunning for his job at CNN. Well, he's Mormon. I got a story, okay. Do you want me to go through the story first that I'm thinking about doing? Let's see, Richie from Boston again. That's great. I'm excited about that. I don't even think I'm subscribed to Richie from Boston. It's not exactly my style, but...
So this, ladies and gentlemen, is what the truth community is up against. A mentally ill man with paranoia who has infiltrated our community and is trying to drive wedges into it with outright lies and by peddling the most extreme and unsupportable positions possible, leading those on the fringes of the truth community away from the rest of us like a Pied Piper. I have been patient, but a lot of people have questions about Nathan's motivation and why he's lying about me, so I'm going to have to address the issue. I don't expect to change the minds of people who are among that part of Nathan's fan base that thrives off of the conflict that he creates, but that's not my objective. My objective is for the rest of you, those of you who are not aware of who Nathan Stolpman truly is and how he truly works to fracture and divide the truth movement. For you, this video will be very enlightening. I hope that after you view this video, if you agree as I do that Nathan Stolpman's objective is to try to destroy other truth channels and set back the truth movement, that you will follow my example and unsubscribe from Lift the Veil and encourage others to do so as well. By the time this video is over, you will have been shown evidence that completely refutes many of the lies that Nathan Stolpman is currently spreading. You will have seen that he is not the reporter that he pretends to be, that he has no respect whatsoever for ethics or for honesty in news reporting. And you will come to this conclusion not because I say so, but because I am going to show you Nathan's own actions and let you see them for yourself and make your own judgment. I am going to show you proof that Nathan Stolpman has been consciously lying to his own audience to further his own agenda to disrupt and fracture the truth community. I am going to show you proof that Nathan Stolpman is very much aware that Wolfgang Halbig is a fraud, but he continues to promote positions that even Halbig himself has distanced himself from, in order to divert your attention away from real investigation into what really happened at Sandy Hook, and toward those false theories on the fringe that have absolutely no basis in fact and that discredit the truth community as a whole. I am going to show you proof that I have tried over and over again behind the scenes to try to get Nathan Stolpman to put the good of the truth community first, ahead of his own agenda, and to stop his effort to divide it, only to be rebuffed by Nathan. You will see irrefutable evidence that Nathan Stolpman does not care about the truth community, but it is determined to fracture it at all costs. So let's begin.